is as they sign in, when they leave, they highlight themselves out so we can keep count, and we'll have a line when 8 people leave, more people can go in, that kind of thing on a free day.
But doesn't that make it tough on people that came from out of town? It's a free day and then you don't let them in the pool?
But it would be tougher if we weren't safe and.
Yeah. No, but I'm saying right now you have it at 160, right?
150.
150.
Well, and I mean, we could stay at that. It's just like feeding fish in a koi pond. You know how they're coming up? That's the way our shallow end will look at 150 people. It is that crowded, like shoulder to shoulder kids. And on a regular day, we can get up to 125, 130 people, but never that many on a regular day.
What's the fire marshal rate that square footage has, or how many people?
200.
200's max? Wow.
And we've got a 250,000 gallon pool, so it's it's a big pool, but that's still a lot of people.
Yes, and it's unique because it has a walk-in, and that you don't normally have those walk-ins anymore. So you can walk in like a beach walking into the pool, or they have the deep end as well.
That also keeps us from having to provide, that is our handicapped access. If we had a bigger pool, we would have to have a lift chair, but that beach is our handicap. You can roll a wheelchair right into the pool.
Is it mandatory for them to wear swimming diapers, the little ones?
Yes.
Do y'all have a sign that says that?
It says it, we have by our sign-in sheet, and we ask, if they've got a child with them, we ask, do you have a swim diaper? Most of them do. I let them know we've got them there in case. We've got all 3 sizes, and if someone doesn't have one, we will give it to them.
Y'all don't sell it to them?
We sell it for $1. If they don't have $1, we still give it to them because we want them to,
And we're going to be working on it because as you can imagine, there are going to be some new rules and activities for the splash pads, and we'll have some new signage up there. And we've done some things over the last 2 or 3 years. We put a new roof on there. We've tried to paint. We've bought some furniture, but that pool is used a lot, and so we're hoping that we can at least increase revenue.
Maybe on the off season we could do, since now we have water to our event center and everything, because before we weren't able to empty it out because that was what they used for, supposedly was going to use for in case of a fire.
Mm-hmm.
So now on the off time, we could do several maintenance that we need to do. We could do one part of this year, next year we could do another part.
Well, one of the things we're having
do
is
some add-ons or whatever.
because of the age of the pool, it's really scavenging some parts to do that. There are not very many people who want to take on our pool because of the age. It's over 35 years old.
But it's made very well, so.
It is. You all had the forethought because it lasted this long. A lot of pools this old would not have lasted. So we're really trying to hold it together.
we're hoping for,
I know there's a lot of people been utilizing it for aerobics.
Yes. And we're hoping, we're hoping that raising these prices can help us to get some more money to do more than just stick Band-Aids on things and fix it, because if we don't fix some things, slowly but surely, that pool is not going to last. Concrete is cracked. I've seen some of y'all at pool parties and water ropes and such, but I really invite y'all to come out on a day when we are busy and see how many people are using that pool. It's a need.
There's a lot of people that do maintenance on pools, and it's not that expensive.
And our pool itself is in pretty good shape. It's the concrete around it. And you were talking about emptying the pool. That's not something we can really do because the pool will, if it rains real hard, the pool will float. It'll come up out of the ground.
I'm just talking just to do the maintenance,
Yeah.
3 or 4 days or whatever. Then it's gonna
Lisa,
That would be
is
wonderful.
part of the maintenance, is that, because remember we talked about a pool and you said we couldn't do too much to it without it getting into the code?
The
bringing it
grandfather
up to
clause?
code?
Yeah,
Is maintenance part of that or not? I mean, can we do whatever kind of maintenance we need to do?
it
Or
would
is
have
that
to be looked
still-
up. It would have to be looked up and
There's
for
any
sure.
cracks around the seat, around the pool those are very fixable.
Yes. So we'll be looking at those things, and I made notes for the changes, and I look forward to, thank you so much. And so, as you see, for the first time, we're doing goals and objectives. If there's any additional goals that we're talking about to ensure the pool for all citizens, regardless of income, I think was important. We want to promote, and she's done a great job on her Facebook. We want to support the quality staff. We have those lifeguards. A lot of them come back every year, but they need to be certified every year, and we need to support them, providing swimming lessons. And we have people who come in, they're trying to have a swim team. I'm sorry, yes, sir.
Okay, one of the things that I guess maybe we could look at, so that way we could budget like we do for everything for every year, is maybe get somebody that builds pools or maintenance the pools to say, well, you know what, hey, oh, you gotta fix these cracks, you gotta do this, do that, this is the life of your pool. So that way we could budget a little bit every year for that. You know, if we need to budget 3,000 or 5,000 for something, a seal cracking, painting, or whatever maintenance that we need to do.
Yes, sir, we'll look
Fix
into
the
that.
restrooms.
Rita, you said that you want to remove those freebies for the city employees.
Yes.
Would it be a big hassle? I mean, you know, if family comes in and take that opportunity to have a good day, I mean, you know, why do you want to take that?
Well, at first, there is nothing written. There's no written policy. There's nothing that says that
Right.
it has to happen. It's just something that was done and happened before I got here. So it's been hard to keep track because, if you can imagine, our staff changed. At one point in time, they're saying how many, one member had like 17 kids, and so staff member brought that many kids, they didn't have 17 children. So we were like, you had to limit up to 6. And so as we're trying to recoup and cultivate, we just think that everybody, they could come on the free day, all staff can come on the free day, but we need to just say everybody should pay the fair share coming into the pool.
Can we do the employees like 50% of that?
Yeah,
With a-
I mean, you know, excuse me, but
Employees
I mean,
only,
uh,
not employees of family, right?
and family, I mean, you know, they're
I agree. Leave it to 6 people or 4 people.
yeah, but
You're saying half price for city employees?
no, free.
Oh, free.
Well, I'd go half price.
Well, that's something that we could work out. I mean, you know, instead of nothing, you know, half or free split.
Yeah, I would agree with you, but on a limit, like
Well, how
2 people with
many kids do they have? They got about.
Our largest family we have is 6 children. And so you can limit to that
Well,
employee plus.
And can you imagine that individual that makes $10, $12 an hour, and he wants to bring out his family? I mean, you know, that employee doesn't make that much like us, you know, those individuals that make good money.
ain't gonna be talking about that.
Well, we can do a half price for employees.
I say free. That's me.
Yes, sir, and I agree,
but,
but
you know,
in
that's-
recommending that we have to be able
That's-
to, at the end of the day, keep the
Right.
pool going, that if
I
everybody,
understand that.
everybody pays something, that it could be fair and equitable. If you want to say employees get a discount, just like you wanted to give residents a discount, I can see that. But I'm saying an employee discount could be something, but I think free is what we can't do anymore.
It's up to the council to decide on free or half. I would put that on the,
Take a little consensus of the
Right.
council.
right.
And right now, what the deal is employees get in free and their families get in free. Even if they come with someone else, if that employee was to come, they can bring 5 guests free. Maybe that, they can bring 5 guests with them free. Maybe that's something we should do away with.
I mean,
Just immediate family.
yes, the immediate family just,
But
Me
you
and my
have to
wife and my
remember
kids.
that it's not Lisa always at the door and the gate. And so you're having some 18-year-olds, 17-year-olds, 19-year-old having to tell an adult, you know. So if there's an armed employee, show some type of ID, they know there's a 50% discount, just like seniors get a discount. We can, you know, it's a discount that we can be able to do something. Veterans get a discount, those kind of things. We can do something like that. And but free is, it's just, we can't, you have to be able to maintain this pool.
And just for the employees, not for the whole,
Just employees. And we don't, I mean, we have 63 employees.
Okay,
And,
Seguin
And I
has
know
a
that-
family pass, up to 6 people for $125 for their family passes. Have that as an employee. So if they use the pool a lot, $125, they got 6 kids, comes out to be pretty cheap.
And ours is 150 now.
Yeah,
Yes.
and that comes out to be pretty cheap.
And that's not one of our big, we don't have a whole lot of family
Yes,
passes.
people usually pay as you go.
Here you go.
Yes. So I'll be putting the recommendations together and you all can vote, but I think maybe, you know,
Yeah.
an employee discount could be something that we can do.
This, and if I may, Henrietta, just real quick, this is something that should be added in the ordinance as well.
Yes, we want to add it on our fee schedule so that we have all the fees there.
Okay.
You know, we're gonna talk about the numbers of the budget.
Yes, we're on page, Connie, you want to go through those numbers? Thank you, Lisa. Do you have any questions? We're on page,
Thank you.
expenditures on page 22 of your budget. Okay. As you can see, the salaries are there. It increases and fluxes back and forth because sometimes, you know, depending on how many kids come back from school and decide to be lifeguards, I need to get my, we had to limit, we're trying to cut someplace, so we eliminated the employee appreciation, which was simple pizza party. Travel and training, now that went down to 0. Now what we were doing was reimbursing them for the travel and training. Page 22 of your budget.
Same page.
Okay.
And so the travel and training, we reduced. We were reimbursing the kids for their training and their mileage, but we need to be able to reduce that. So we're going to see if we can figure out something else on that one. At the maintenance, it has been up to 5, and we've put a new roof on there. We still need to do some bathroom things, and we're hoping that some of the things, improvements for the splash pad can fall over into the pool. Chemicals, we're trying to watch our chemicals. As you see, it's been 21, 22, 21, 20, but we're running right about 18.5 right about now.
Yeah, but we're adding the splash pad.
Yes, but I can't put those numbers into this budget yet, this operating budget, because I have no idea what those numbers will be right now.
No, but we can definitely give it a little bit more to cover it, so when it's down, instead of doing a budget amendment, we could add 2,000 to it right now, just to sort of cover the need, because when you're running a 22, 21, 20, actually 22, 22 and a half, 22, why don't we just go right to 22 instead of worrying about
Okay.
writing a budget amendment?
Okay, so we'll hold it,
Yeah,
we'll hold it
for
at
next year.
22. Did you make note of that? We'll do that for 22. Thank you. Minor pool supplies and equipment. So we bought some chairs. We were blessed this year that Walmart looked out for us and called us when they got the early season, gave us a really good discount on some chairs. And so we're hoping to do some other things in reference to that. The utilities and the electric are running about the same.
Should go up to at least 15, because you know you're not gonna run any less electric lights and stuff. Now we're adding a splash pad with a motor.
Yeah, but we're going with LED, then we're gonna.
We're going with LED, which is going to use a whole lot less electricity.
Expensive.
Yeah, but that
I'm
pump
sorry,
motor
I'm
is
sorry, Councilman,
expensive to
I
run.
didn't hear you.
That pump motor's gonna be expensive running it. What is that, about a 30, 20 gallon? How many gallon a
No,
minute
that
pump?
was, what do you say, 1,200 gallon per minute?
12, yes,
That's a
sir.
hell of a pump.
So, and they're saying, you know,
At least 20 horse.
I don't want to know how big they are, because they had 2 sprayers. But even if we go to 15 and it is below that, it's better than doing a budget amendment. At the end, if we see we're too high, we can do an amendment and put that money elsewhere.
So duly noted, we'll make that one to 15? Is that okay?
Well, remember, the water's going to be recycling.
Yes.
Yeah, but it still takes
It has a pump,
electricity
too.
to pump the energy. That's, I think it'd be more than 3,000 extra. Be a 3-phase pump. It's gonna be,
So that's on the electric.
yeah, be on
Yes.
the electric.
On that page. And then we can go, it goes on and continue to page 23?
No,
Hey, what?
that's it.
Oh, I'm sorry, that's it. That's it, into the full budget.
So what, so
we're
what
gonna
was
page
the end
22.
result?
But an
15?
increase of 50?
I wrote 15, is that what I heard?
On the electric, right?
On the electric, I heard 15 increase on
did.
that line item
Could be
and
more.
22,000
On
on
chemicals.
the
At least
chemicals.
5,000, you know, be at least 16, 17. Because that pump would take at least 5,000 for for the season, extra electricity. We have
But
three,
why don't you put it
phase out there.
16?
The electric?
And you have to remember, it won't be completed,
Right.
at least we're told until 10 months from now.
But if you want to move
So
it to
we'll be on time
16,
for,
if you want to move it to
Right.
16, we can do that,
Yeah.
and we'll monitor and track that.
yeah.
And how much are we gonna put for the,
May I?
fixing of the pool?
The maintenance, we're hoping to hold it down to $3,000.
Well, we added a couple of thousand to that, that way, if there's cracks or there's things that need to be fixed,
You want to have a reserve
may I
fund for it,
speak?
where you
Yeah,
put away like $2,000 and says, this stays here, nobody moves it. Nobody
That goes
steals
into
it
a
for another
different
project.
but it'll be for the
Just
maintenance.
stay there. At
In
least
case we need it.
Yeah,
An
we
emergency.
gather 2,000 one year, 2,000 the next year, then actually do something,
Yeah.
not just little
Do we
patch
use,
down.
excuse me, hold on, Connie, Mrs. Moreno, you had something?
I want for you to go ahead and turn to page 24. On the column that is 2018, 2019, at the very bottom, the 164,534 on the minus, that's the amount of money that we need, either on revenues increase or reduce expenditures, so we can have a balanced budget. Because as of right now, I couldn't balance it, because if I keep on taking off, we're not gonna have enough to function. So I just want for you to keep that in mind as you're adding, because somewhere we're gonna have to reduce. So that way we can balance the budget.
I know it's a
But all it
sensitive,
is like-
I know it's a sensitive subject, the deficit, but the deficit of the 104 that they talked about in the audit, as well as this, is just focused in the general fund 301. All your other funds do not have a deficit, but that's what we need to be able to focus on. And one of the things that we did, and I said in my memo, my budget letter, was that we were not transferring as much money over as we had before, because that's what he recommended. And so we need to be able to find, and so when we add those things back up, as a question why everybody has to pay, it kind of doesn't allow us to do a balanced budget. Because you heard the auditor say that we need to stop transferring as much money.
And I want to succeed on these budget, because I'm not budgeting any money out of fund balance, because we don't have any. So what we're implementing here is the zero-based budget policy, meaning that all that is collected, all the revenues that are collected is what is going to be used to spend and sustain the city. We cannot continue to borrow from other funds, so we can go ahead and sustain 301.
How many days we have the pool open?
Is Lisa still here?
Okay, how many
6 days, it's open to,
total days?
oh,
What's the time period? Number of days?
May, Memorial Day weekend through Labor Day weekend.
How many days?
Leave that up. Where's my calendar?
Oh, we got this 5 months, so
At 30.
150 days.
And can we extend it?
it's weather permitted. And then what happens is that we start losing our lifeguards. Most of them are college students, and they start going back to school. So we have a hard time staffing it.
But the same usage is not,
School starts, usually after August, school starts, the weather's kind of iffy. But we also lose our lifeguards. She starts losing them at the beginning of
but
August.
we don't have the same quantity of people, so you don't need as many lifeguards.
Right, it kind of works out, because as the activity dwindles down, the staff.
You know, what we could do was start in May, just the weekends, like Schlitterbahn does.
No, but one of the things that we could do is
That's a good idea.
start motivating everybody to come and do aerobics and everything else. Start utilizing the pool.
Yep.
And those people pay money because, hey, they want to stay in shape and look good.
And it doesn't get cold until after November. Even the whole month of November is
Yeah,
hot.
but in most places they close in
Yeah, but
Labor
for
Day.
aerobics, like you were saying,
And they just leave the weekends, like in Schlitterbahn
Yeah.
after the Labor Day, they leave,
We need to start marketing our poll as a,
they just do the weekends after those days? 'Cause
Lisa,
that's common.
did you have something else?
Yes. Okay, y'all were talking about extending in September. We've tried to be open even on weekends, and people say, yeah, but nobody comes. So I've got to have at least 4 guards there in case they come. And then in May, we do.
is it mandatory to have 4 guards?
Well, we've got 3 lifeguard chairs, and we need somebody in the office. Unless we say we can only take 60 people today,
But in September, you could say, well, you know what? You limit your days, you limit the amount of people, and you have only 2 lifeguards and the person charging.
The problem,
And it's mainly for like the aerobic people, the ones that's gonna.
Right now, we do the aerobics till, it's really up to the aerobic instructors because they start their schools and stuff like that too. They go till Labor Day. Pardon?
They charge for that?
Do they charge for water aerobics?
Yeah.
Yes.
So, and who gets that money?
We get a percentage. They're basically renting the pool from us to do their class, and they pay us a
How much are they
percentage. 40% to the city. They're not employees of the city. And then in May, the week before we open Memorial Day weekend, we start doing parties maybe May 15th, and we'll get all the school kids. We'll get athletic boosters do 2 whole days with us. Stockdale will come. We even had Pettis come to our pool for a party, and they'll do 3 or 4 hours. And then the weekends, we'll do back-to-back parties in May, 30 minutes between party from 9 to 11. Same thing in September. And we make a lot of our money like that.
How much money are you making on the aerobics?
I'd have to go and see what it is exactly.
How many people is there?
I'd say about 30. Would y'all say there's about 30 in
And
class?
how much y'all pay?
They pay, I believe it's 30 a month.
What?
30 a month.
30 a month, so.
And then Zumba is a little bit less, but they come twice a week. I think it's $20 a month. They come twice a week, and then we have
They come every day?
Or Tuesday through Friday, when it doesn't rain.
Right.
I was gonna suggest maybe closing the pool earlier and renting it out. Maybe on weekends, close it at 6 and then rent it from 6 on. Wouldn't you make more money like that?
Are you saying just in September?
No, I'm talking about regular.
We could, we have a lot of families that wait until 6 or 7 to come, when they're off
Okay.
work or it's cooler,
Okay, that's fine. I was just.
yeah.
Okay, I think we've talked so much about this but when we come back, if there's some more ideas that we can present to the council. Mr. Nissen, did you?
yeah, the pool basically costs us $680 a day to run an operation and $90 a day to run it out of operation, according to their numbers, and 150, what I was figuring. To help some of that out, I can tell you right now, Riverbend is building so many houses, and when I went up there to the sales office, I asked, are we promoting the swimming pool? They have no idea that we had a swimming pool out there, so we need to
Hear
get
that
some
a lot.
flyers to the Chamber of Visitors and Tourists. We need to get them out to these builders, especially when we're gonna build 107 new homes, and we just put in 35 homes there that they didn't know about. And
Yes.
we just need to get the advertisement out, and that should help us bring some bucks in.
And that is one of our goals, is to increase promotion and marketing of programming, offering an experience of safety and security at the pool facilities. We want to, because, I live in an apartment complex that has a pool, but it's not a public pool. And so you can't pay you have to live there to use the pool. And so this is the only thing we have in town that allows people to do that. So we want to market more. Our Facebook, our social media, and I believe you have a Facebook as well, Lisa, is that right?
Yes.
Can you put a slick in our water bill like you do on the others?
Yes,
Without a cost?
We have done that in the past, actually.
And we can do that again. And even
Especially during the summer months.
And especially during summer months, and as we talk about changing, I think the mayor mentioned about letting people know, we can put the new push and just push nothing else to say, want to know about the pool, go to their website, and we can be able to do that link, so we can be able to do that.
A sign on the highway would be beneficial too, I think. There's nothing saying pool.
But is the sign that says pool?
There isn't one.
Street
There
sign?
isn't a sign.
There's nothing coming off 181 about the park, I don't think.
Well, I know Seguin has one that says city swimming pool.
And that would help.
Yeah.
There are people that have been here 5, 6 years and don't know that we're out there.
I know that from
Mrs.
our
Moreno,
neighborhood.
you had a statement?
Yes, to wrap this up, and just as we increase the expenditures, would you like to go over the revenues and see how much you're estimating with the new fees that we're gonna go ahead and get?
Well, what we could do is come back, so we want to be able to have we could come back and come up with our revenue projections, especially we're talking about how much staff use, and so we can get you some revenue projections for your next meeting.
And they do keep a record of how many staff members go and how much
Yes, so
is
they have to
used.
sign in, yes. So we can
Okay.
get you some revenue projections. Thank you, Mayor, for allowing Pool to come first. Thank you, Lisa, you did a great job.
No problem. Okay, moving on
Thank
to
you, Connie, for all your
our Parks Department.
Yes, now we have our new supervisor for parks. I do want to say, before we start on parks, this is just talking about the existing park. This is not anything in reference to the maintenance or anything for the Grants Park or anything in reference to that. This is just our existing parks.
Existing parks?
This is not, and we're going to, there's another day, we're going to talk about Grant and the Grant parks and those kind of things. So he can't address those things as of yet. He'll be working with those things, so we're just talking about the existing park itself, the existing parks. Okay, and so this is our new supervisor. You've been with us how long?
8 months, if I'm correct.
He's still standing.
The new park supervisor? Yes, sir.
Parks supervisor. Okay, and so Parks has two components. One of them is the Parks Department itself. And if you look under the Parks Department, the next one talks about the cemetery. They maintain them both. There's a Parks Department, but the cemetery has its own fund. It's 80, what's up now, it's 332. 332, so it has its own fund, but he operates both. One of the things, he said he's been with us
8 months.
8 months. I have shared with him I know you've seen this before, our wonderful plan that we did for our park master plan. One of the things that we talked about, and one of the goals is to focus on implementing the proposed maintenance improvements noted in the Floresville Parks Master Plan of 2015. There's some things we need to tweak in the different parks, equipment and those kind of things. Please be mindful that we have that dollar on your water bill ordinance going on, recreation fee that we can use to do some of these things. So that is going to be one of his focuses going forward. We want to connect with the residents through that that thing we offered. Did you notice the one I put on this Pecan Park? That's the most popular park I think we have. But he has a copy of this, his own personal copy. I know you all have copies of that, but that's going to be each individual one. There's small things we can do to make the park handicap accessible, and so those things that he's working on, he's been able to do. So that's reference to park. So David, do you want to talk about your parks, what you've got going on?
A lot of work, actually. Well, we got caught behind with the water. Rain came, and a lot of times we can't get in certain places till it dries up. So if it looks kind of shoddy, we'll make a round and we'll get to it. Like I said, some of these places we can't get into because then we'll leave ruts and make some mess. So we just go on to the next part and hopscotch through town till we make our way over here to the city park. And that's where our main goal is. And from there, we go back into the city and make our rounds and then come back out.
What is the cemetery schedule on?
Actually, it's not on the schedule. We get to it, like I said, we should have got there maybe about a week ago, but due to the rain we've had, and then we can't get to certain places because of the water, we have to let it dry, like the bark ditches, for example. They were wet, and we had to wait at least 2 or 3 days before we can get in there, let it dry, took care of that, and then we jumped to the cemetery, which is actually where we're at there right now.
Any questions for David?
Again, parks, when you said the big park, you talked about this park over here?
Yes, sir, 97. I call it the River Bridge Park.
And you got the equipment that's going to be able to maintain that?
Yes, sir, we've been maintaining it. What do you...
Wait, you said equipment?
New equipment.
New equipment, how's your equipment?
Oh, actually, we have a pretty good mechanic, Eli, and
He's overworked.
Well, we have bought a brand new tractor. It's not, well, it's pretty new to us. Because one of the things that you did for Tech Stop, we have to maintain all that up and down 181. That was one of the agreements that we made to maintain it. So we have that one that has a shredder on the back. He also has, how many lawnmowers?
5
5 lawnmowers.
zero turn mowers, and they're in good condition, and
And we look